catalogue, and I'm sorry for the delay. I think I have got my problem sorted out now. It appears that well, I don't know what it appears as, but something wasn't quite going right, and everything was like landscape and so sideways, and now hopefully everything is in the right orientation. Okay, so it's July the 2nd, halfway through the year already. As always, if you're out there watching me, perhaps you'll go ahead and let me know in the chat there. I'm just going to go a little bit closer in. Hopefully it doesn't make you seasick. And we'll talk about what we're going to do today. So yesterday I got an order in, and I had ordered this hybrid set. It's an embossing folder with some dies, and I think it's the first time I've ever ordered anything like this. So this is a new one on me. So I thought that I would work my way through learning how to use it with you. Now, it comes as a set. You can't buy them separately, but it has a really pretty embossing folder, and it's one of the thicker 3D ones. And then it has coordinating dies. So Stampin' Up! Have got quite a few of these in the catalogue, but it's not something, as I say, that I've actually used before. So this one is a first for me. So these are the dies. Let's see, it says that, let's see what, but they are called Delightful Doilies, and there are 4 in the set. So there's a very detailed one here, and then we've got some outlines. So I thought we would have a go at working our way through them, and I needed some anniversary cards. I've got a brother, a stepson, and a niece who've all got anniversaries over the next couple of months. So I thought, well, maybe this would be a great anniversary card. So that is what we're going to work on. So to that end, I found a stamp set that has got anniversary in the words. It's called Sentimental Park, and I have used this quite a lot in the past on other projects. So with like the flowers and everything. So I thought that if we used Let's Celebrate Your Anniversary, that would be perfect for my my greeting. So I'm just going to pull those out. So let's see, your anniversary. So this is a kind of a long thin one, so I'm going to pop it on a long block. This is a G block, I think. Try and get that straight. And then the Let's Celebrate, I think I've used that before, so it's probably down here. That's Thinking of You. That's Dear Friend. Maybe this is Let's Celebrate. Yes, Let's Celebrate. And this one is it's probably a bit wide to go on an E block, a G block, so let's go ahead and pop it on this one. So this is a C block. So there's my stamps. and we're not very good. We're a bit fuzzy on the old let's see if I push it out a bit. Skew, so forgive me if you're starting to feel seasick. Okay. That's not improving the focus at all. So I'm going to bring it a little bit in again. There we go. Okay, so you should be able to see what I'm doing. So I chose some colours, and I've chosen Misty Moonlight and Very Vanilla. They're lovely colours, they're lovely together, and I thought again they would make lovely anniversary colours. And then I pulled out some embellishments, so I've got some sort of silvery and maybe a few of these gold pearls, and then I've got iridescent pearls, and then I've got these flat-backed pearls, and then I've got this ribbon, which is the 8th. It comes in a twin pack with the gold and the silver, and then I've got my elegant trim, which obviously comes in the silver and the gold in the same packet as well. So those are what we're going to be looking to use. Right. Okay, so I'm going to make a start, and we're going to have a look at how this embossing folder performs, what we get with it. So I'm going to start and just, I've cut some layers. Let's see, I think a dark one would be worth it to try. So I've got my big cut and emboss machine here, and I'm going to pop my paper in, and I want to center it as much as I can, but I want to keep it away, my card edge away from this hinge, because it'll give me a blank spot, number one, and also it puts a lot of pressure on that hinge, and it can actually break after a while. So I've got my big plate, my base plate, and then my number 4, which is my embossing plate, and then I'm going to just crank on through and see what we get. So remember, this is the first time I've seen any of this, so my surprise and your surprise are going to be the same. So look at that. That is beautiful. That is really stunning. I love that. Now that would make a really good card front. So if we were to pop that onto some light of navy, sorry, what am I talking about? Very vanilla. That would make a really nice card. Okay. Right, so there's one. That's how one works. Now we've got this really lovely decorated piece, detail piece rather. So I'm gonna run that through. This time I'm going to need my adapter plate, that's my number 2, and then a clear plate, number 3, then my card, and then my die, and I've just had a thought about something. So hold on. Okay. I bet you this won't work, but we'll try our best to see if this will work. If it works, I'll tell you what my thoughts were, and if it doesn't, then I won't. And then I need another plate on top. So now, because this is a detailed plate die, I'm going to make sure that I crank it fairly slowly, just to give the cutting blades on the die a chance to go through that card. And let's see what we've got. We've got a few pieces in there that's left behind, but we can always use a brush for that to get that off. See how quickly and easily it comes out. That way, if I use it again, I won't have any little bits in it to prevent the cutters working. Okay, I think I've got one more left. There. Oh, there's another little beastie just there. Right, so let's see what we've got here. So we can flick it and those pieces should come out. It's because they're small, they tend to take a little bit of effort to come out, but they're there. Let's see. Okay, let's get the old what have I done with it? There we go. I've got a piece of sponge here. I'm just gonna ease that out like that, and then the bits will be loosened, and then they'll come out nicely. Yeah, see, look, most of them are nearly there. Just a little gentle flick and they're gone. So this is very pretty, and if we look at it on a piece of card, you can see that that is very pretty indeed. Now, my thought, I had this thought that maybe if I lined this up correctly, which I kind of did, but not very well, could always trim that down. I can always put this over the top. So let's follow that line of thought a little bit further. Right. I'm going to go back with my embossing folder, and I'm going to line up my cut piece here. It might be easier to do it on this side because this side has got raised pieces, and I think I would be able to click it into place. A little bit of a rotate there. Our embossing plate back again. Okay, so here we go. That's nice. And if I was to attach it to there, I can trim these little bits off because they're not going to show. All right, so there's another thought. So we've done some embossing on plain card, we've cut a shape out on this piece, and rather than waste it, I've embossed on it. So we've got a couple of ideas going on there. Then where did I put the doily? I had it, didn't I? Here it is. So we looked at the idea of putting the doily on a piece of plain card. So this time I'm going to put the doily back in here, and I'm going to position it so that the top of the piece of card is going to show through the Stampin' Up sign label there. So this will go in like that, and we get our embossing plate out again. Now I suppose I could have cut and embossed at the same time there, but I'd be worried there that my embossing might flatten out. So anyway, let's see what we've got. Well, I didn't quite get that lined up. I've got my lines up there, but I haven't quite got my holes and my little dibbles lined up. But it must have moved. But anyway, that would take a little bit of practice, and maybe we'll have time toward the end. Right, what else can we do with this little beast? Right, I've just had another thought that sometimes with these hybrids, they make them so that the cutting die will actually fit on here, and I can see that it will kind of click into place. Okay, right, maybe this is a better way of doing it. Oh, this needs to be a weeny bit careful. I'm going to pop the die down, and then very carefully, and so as not for anything to move, I can see that my die is lined up inside the piece of the embossing folder. So let's see what we've got now. Right. I hope I haven't damaged my embossing folder. Okay, well, it's got a little bit of a line around there, but yeah, I don't think it's caused any damage. So let's see what we've got. So this time, I guess we've pretty much got what we had here, except this time I haven't got one with all the pretty piercings. But let's have one more go with the embossing folder. Let's just see if I can make it work. So what I'm trying to do is to just line up this so that, no, it was to do this, wasn't it? I'm not sure whether this would work. Let's see. This might work. Okay, I can actually feel that the die has fallen into the embossing. So let's see if we have any luck. So I need my base plate, my little extra piece there. And now I'm going to position my die down with my card. We're going to keep our fingers crossed, everybody. So if you're out there, maybe you'll go ahead and let me know. There we go. Let's see what we've got. So it has trimmed off a little bit of the edge. Okay. Alrighty. Right, so we just need to get a few little bits off here. So what we did was emboss it first, and then we cut it out. We cut and embossed at the same time. So I put my card and these two pieces together and did that at the same time. And then I took the piece that was cut and ran it through the detailed folder, the detailed die. And now I've got a lovely embossed piece. That has also got the very fine doily pieces punched out. So that's what I did. I ran the card through here with the doily embossing folder and the outline. So I cut it and had a piece, and then I lined everything up with this, and then with the detailed die, and then I just ran it through, and I managed to get all my pieces, my little pieces lined up. So this, I really like this. It's really lovely. Okay. Right, so what other pieces have we got that we haven't used so far? So we've used these two pieces, and it looks like we have a couple of other pieces. So this looks like another outline, and then we've got a circle. So I'm wondering, does this go on here? Maybe. Okay, well, let's get a piece of card and see if we like what we get. So it's a case of lining up. This doesn't seem, it kind of clicked in place there. There was a definite click in place. So, and now I've moved it. This is not as easy as doing the other one, that's for sure. Right, let's see. Please, 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 please work. I'm going to be very careful not to move anything. And let's see what we get. Ooh. Ooh, 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 that's not so bad. That was definitely in the middle. That was worth the time for doing that. Right, I've just had a thought. We've got a plain circle here, and I'm wondering if, let's get the adapter plate on there and on this. I'm going to go and get a scrap of card. And I think I'm going to cut out this circle. Just a plain circle. And maybe that would make a lovely feature. Okay, so anyway, I've used all 4 bits now. I think, unless I can think of something else to do with it, I think we'll go ahead and see if we can turn something into a card. All right. So I've just got a straightforward card base here, 5.5 by 8.5, and I've just scored it down the middle. And I'm thinking about doing that, like that. It looks a bit plain, doesn't it? Yes, I like the idea, but it's not doing anything for me. If anybody has got any suggestions, just go ahead and let me know, because although I like the idea, it's not working. It's not doing anything for me at the minute. Let's see if maybe we could. I wonder if what we could do is put some ribbon across like that. And then pop that down. Well, that kind of gives it a bit more of a lift, doesn't it? What else? So what other pieces? So I've got these pieces. Oh, now something's happening. Now something's happening. What do you think about this? I think that is giving me a bit more. All right. Let's see what we can make happen with this. Right. So if I put this piece of ribbon, I'm just going to attach the piece of ribbon. Let's get some scissors. And get a bit of tape. I want to make sure that I've got it going right through the same piece. like that. Okay. Let me just get that shoofed in. And then if I get this, it's not really lining up, and yet I love that idea. I might have to rethink this a little bit. Well, that's a better fit. Okay. I need to trim this piece down, so we're just going to go ahead and take the tape off. Should have thought of that beforehand. But as I say, this card is one that you know, is just literally coming off the top of my head. I haven't had any thoughts. This bundle just arrived last night. I think the UPS man tiptoed up to the door about 7 o'clock. He didn't even ring the bell. Okay, so I'm just going to trim a little bit off here. It's probably about 1/8 of an inch all round, because this is going to be my underside piece. Oh, I've already done that. So if I then twiddle it around, now is it that piece? Which piece did I use? Which gives me the best finish? Okay, that one there. Right, so let's pop that over there. Now we can go in and do that thing with the tape, with the ribbon again. So we just lay that across. Make sure that it's centered. Okay. And then this piece should just literally fall into place. That is a tiny bit close for my liking. I'm just going to use my snips just to take that off, because nobody will be any the wiser. And that little bit's a tiny bit off as well. Right. So if I was designing this card from the beginning, then I would cut this piece. I cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and this piece was that size as well. So if I was, you know, designing this or putting it together from first principles, I would cut this piece a bit smaller. Right. Now the good thing about this is that the piece of blue, the embossing on that piece of blue is actually slotting into the embossing on the piece of vanilla. So that actually is working in my favour for lining up. Okay. Let's see. Well, that is looking pretty. So we can pop that on there, or should I put it onto a blue base? So this is going to go like that, so I can go ahead and attach this piece. Like that. And that's going to go over like that. So, does it look better on the blue card base? Or does it look better on the vanilla card base? I don't know. I've got no idea what I think is the one way to go. So while I think about that for a minute, I need to work out how I'm going. I can go ahead and put this on some dimensionals. Like that. Okay, that will have to go on when the card gets stuck down to the card. You must be careful not to do that. Right, so let's do a greeting. Let's do a greeting. So we can use some little strips of vanilla. We've got some here, and we get some Misty Moonlight ink out. We do a bit of trimming this down. There. Now I could use a punch. I want to just leave it very simple. Yeah, I just want to leave it simple. And let's see how that will work out. So let me see. I've got to make a decision. Do I put it on this card base or this card base? Okay, I'm going to go with this one. I am going to go with this one. For no other reason that I need to make my mind up, so otherwise we'll be here all afternoon. Now I can go ahead and pop this piece down because I've got something to stick it to now. There. And then maybe I could do that. Does that look good? That's not bad. Let's celebrate. Okay, we'll put a couple of dimensionals on the back of that. We'll use some of the edging pieces, I think. Now, should I put a little twist in there to make it look like I've knotted the ribbon at the front? I think I will, even though I know, or you know, and we know that I didn't actually do that. Let's pull that through because it's quite tight there. And we'll just pop a knot in. Trim that off. Would help if you had a sharp pair of scissors in your hands, Cindy. There we go. And then inside I can just stamp your anniversary. And I'm going to do it just across the corner so I don't have to worry about level and center like that. I think that is my first one, and I'm just going to add, well, since I've used silver, maybe I can use some of these silvery ones here. Let's get that out of the way, clear some space. One, two, so there's some little circles here, so that's where I'm putting them. Well, it would be if I actually put it in a circle and not on the edge of it. That's because I'm working at arm's length here. And I've got some more. So I've finished the silver ones on that packet. So I've just got a few more silvers. I think I just need one in there. And I can just see I need to have one peeking out there. There. So what do we think? I like it. So there's one anniversary card using the bits and pieces from this particular die set. I think I'll just try and do one more and then we'll call it a day. Okay, so what have I got left in terms of pieces? I could do that, but how about if I was to maybe, okay, let's do something fairly straightforward. So if I was to do like this one, if I was to do like the tone on tone, maybe this one I'll do tone on tone, and I'll use this first piece that I got, and maybe we'll have that going off, and we can put the anniversary here. And then let's see if we've got a small piece of vanilla left. Yes, I think I have. I can put that inside. That can be, I can put there your anniversary. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put it across the corner, so I don't have to stress about making sure I've got it right. This will go, and I'm going to put this sort of half on and half off. And I can find the halfway point there to there. Maybe I'll use my cutter to do that. Just to make sure that I get a good cut. Let's hope that this will behave itself. There we go. So if I attach this piece, I'm just going to use a little adhesive where it won't show. Maybe I need to put a bit there. There we go. Ooh, I've just had another idea. Let's lift this up. I'm going to stick that coming through. No, I'm going to stick it coming through there. Hold on, my thoughts are raging here. Just trying to make sure that we get to do something nice with this ribbon. Okay, sorry, I'm half off so I could see. There we go. And then we cut a piece off here. And we're going to attach this piece to the back like this. So what we do, what I tried to do here is, if you like, to use the holes in the doily to really sort of showcase the ribbon as well. Okay. And again, I'm going to put, I like the idea of putting this false knot in, because it makes it look like you've wrapped it round. And we could always do a bow, I guess. But anyway, I've got the knot in place now. To use my nice sharp scissors. Like that. So that looks like I've wound that ribbon all the way around the back, but we actually know that I didn't. And I'm just going to, we've got some not quite lined up, so I'm just going to trim that there, like that. And then if we attach it to the card, this time I think I'm going to attach it with some dimensionals, which I have here. So one on each corner. And one in the middle. Hello everybody, as you're joining me, I certainly appreciate you joining me today. We've been working through with a hybrid embossing folder and die set that I literally received last night, and so I am just working through some ideas and also working out how to use it, because you know, with everything there's like a little techniques, and when you know the techniques, you think, oh, well, that's easy to use. And then I think we'll just attach that, because we can't waste this pretty piece. I could use it on another card, I suppose, but I'm just going to make these two, and I can always cut another one now that I know how to use it. So that looks quite pretty, doesn't it? So this is the piece that I'm going to pop inside the card. That's the bit where I write, you know, to you, love from me. So we're going to pop that in there. And so I think we just need the anniversary bit. So what did I do with my piece of card? Oh, there it is. So we're going to stamp the Let's Celebrate on here, just as I did before. I'm not going to do anything special or different on this one. We're just going to use the same style of labeling and greeting, rather than try and bring in anything fancy, because we've got an awful lot of fancy in the doily. So we're just going to trim that like that, and we'll attach that with a couple of dimensionals, just one on either end. There. And let's just go back to these. Now there's some shiny ones, and these ones are supposed to be green, and I think they're like a very soft green, but they look a bit sort of silvery to me. So I'm going to use these. I've got some in this other pack. Let's finish up this other pack, because I think those are mainly the bits that are left over from other projects. Now let's use some of these here. So maybe I will try to sort of pick up blank spaces in the embossing, and maybe I'll pop one in there, and maybe one in there, and then just a couple more bits there. So there we have a couple of ideas. We've explored how to use these dies with this embossing folder, and there's the picture of the die, the embossing folder, and we actually used all 4 pieces of the die set. I'm just looking for it now. I think we've got, they're here anyway. So with a few extra embellishments, we have come up with a couple of anniversary cards, and I used the words from the Sentimental Park stamp set. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the live that we've done today. If you have any comments, if you're watching on the rerun, then maybe you could just put those below in the comments box. If you've enjoyed the live, perhaps you go ahead and give me a thumbs up by hitting the like button. If you don't subscribe to my channel, perhaps you'll go ahead and do that as well. I have enjoyed spending the last 45 minutes, 50 minutes with you, sharing this new bundle. And I will be back next week, same time, with another project. So thank you for joining me. Bye bye for now.